Okay, guys, let's jump straight into it. I'm gonna be very, very blunt with you. The reason you still train hard, but your physique looks average, is because you're probably fucking up your cardio. And I said it from experience. Like, I'm sitting at 10% body fat right now. I'm in elite shape, and I've coached more than 50 guys inside my program. And I can tell you, hands down, that cardio is one element of a training plan that is overlooked. It's completely misunderstood. It's not managed properly. And for you at the moment, what it looks like in terms of cardio is you either don't do any cardio at all, you skip it, or you just start doing some random cardio. Let's say one day your friend are calling you, or let's play football or paddle, you join them, or you approach cardio in panic mode. When let's say you have a cheat meal, start eating too much. You're like, oh my god, fuck, I need to do some cardio. I need to burn some calories. Or let's say when you want to do an extreme cut, oh, it's time for me for a very intense cut. I need to have abs by summer, so I'm gonna do slam, slam, slam cardio. And you get your body used to a certain amount of cardio you never did before. And whatever you're doing right now, the approach is wrong. How do I know it's wrong? You have to look at your results. If you don't have the body that you want, what you're doing is fucked up. There's a problem. Okay, we need to address that. And this is why there's a gap between where you at now and where you want to be, where you're supposed to be actually, because you know what you're truly capable of. And you might be putting all of this work in the gym, you're training 6 times a week, you think you're eating clean, but in fact, like when we look at your physique, like we all know, you're still holding excess body fats, you know, you are chunky, you always look bulky. Yes, maybe you can add some size, but it's not that of a muscle, man. Like you just you seems like you gain muscle and fat at the same time, and your physique still look average, right? That is the whole point. If you're training hard for something and you don't look the way you want to look, we need to address the problem. And don't worry, bro, like I've been there myself. Like if you look on the left side, that was the version of me, was training hard, probably the way you do. I was blasting the gym 6 times a week. Thought I was doing right, everything right on paper. I was disciplined. Sometimes I was meal prepping. I was eating clean. But yet my physique still look average. As you can see, I was still holding some body fat around the belly section. And I don't know, even the proportion in my physique, it feels like, very, very odd. For most people, they're gonna be like, oh bro, you look good in that physique, man. Like, why you keep training hard? But deep down, I knew that based on the effort I was putting, this is not the result I was supposed to fucking get. And the paradox is right now I'm working out less. I'm spending less time in the gym lifting weights. I still train hard. I still have the level of discipline that is required to be in elite shape. And this is why I have this physique. It's like not only I have the work ethic, but also I have the right strategy. You need to understand, guys, like, effort doesn't mean progress. You doing random things, putting tons of effort into something will give you the illusion of progress because of the stimulation you get from the workout, from the physical activity. You have the dopamine hit. Oh my God, I feel so good after the workout. I must be in decent shape if I keep going like that. But weeks go by and you still look the exact same. Your efforts are not paying off, right? Effort doesn't mean results. I want you to fucking stick it in your mind. Because for most people, they think it's all about like training hard and eating clean. But that's what most people are doing. That's what most people are looking average. There's levels to the inputs you need to focus on, right? And one of it is cardio. Like on the left side, I was not treating my cardio seriously. Okay. Yes. Can we talk about um, Can you talk about my level of discipline maybe during the weekends or some daily habits I was not leveraging? Yes, we can address that, of course. But the main point of this video is talking about the cardio because that's something I'm implementing right now with all of my clients and with myself as well. Like, I'm not a fucking bitch. I still do my cardio. And that's why we getting result way faster. It's because it's a big lever that guys are leaving on the table. Okay. And I'm gonna explain you like why you need cardio, but the difference between the two pictures is pretty obvious. I don't consider myself being in shape on the left side. Like if you look this way right now, like I want you to understand, like this is not okay. Like this is what I consider like an okay physique. Again, for most people, they're gonna seem like it's a good physique because who are you comparing yourself to? People that are out of shape, maybe obese, maybe they never been in the gym. Oh my god, boy, like, you look good, man. I wanna be like you. Well, fuck off. You know that's not the way you wanna look. Because when you close your eyes and then you go to the gym and you see all of these guys online, you know, they fucking ripped, they fucking peeled, they shredded, they jacked as fuck. You know, there's a part in your head telling you, oh no, that's how I want to be. That's how I'm supposed to be. And the crazy part is some of these guys, like, they start in a worse position than you. And they actually spend less time than you working out. And they still have a good social life. They have fun on weekends. Why is that? Like, that should fucking piss you off. The fact that you're putting more work into something compared to someone else and you're getting 10 times less of the outcome he's getting. That's fucking frustrating. And you should get pissed off of yourself and just sit down, leave your ego on the side, and be like, fuck, there's something I'm missing right there. I'm putting all of this work, it's not paying off, so what I'm doing wrong? There's many things you can be doing wrong, I agree, but again, if you watch this video, I can guarantee you, like, you haven't looked at cardio this way. And I don't blame you because, you know, there's a lot of limiting beliefs right there around cardio. I've just list three of them, and that's not only like, you know, limiting belief, but also wrong ideas, wrong approach towards cardio. Like the first one is cardio will kill my gains, right? Oh, you know what, man? I just want to be jacked, man. I want to build some muscle. I don't need cardio because if I burn too much calories, you know, in this cardio, well, I'm not gonna have enough calories for my muscle and actually get jacked, right? So why the fuck I should be doing cardio? Man, that's a limiting belief. Okay, stay with me in this video. I'm gonna explain you why. Cardio will not kill your gains. It will only kill your gains if you do it the wrong way. Number two, it's like your approach of cardio is you only do it when you binge eat. You're like, oh fuck, man, stuck too much calories this weekend. I had this cheat meal. You know what? Let me just put my hoodie on. I'm gonna go on the street and I'm gonna start hit at 5K, 10K. Although you never used to running or do any form of cardio, suddenly you go and start like slamming these big goals, 5K, 10K, right? Just because you think you're gonna just burn the calories and you're gonna restore the balance to zero and you're good to go. Fucking wrong approach. Okay? And that mindset, every time like, you know, you think this way and do your cardio because you did something bad, it's like it's always like a punishment. It's like, how are you going to enjoy something if it always feel like you're hurting yourself, you're punishing yourself? That's not sustainable as well. Okay? And understand that cardio is not a punishment. It's a tool that you need to have in your plan. And another myth I see is I'm only gonna do cardio, man, if I just cutting. If I wanna cut like, you know, extremely fast because I have this trip coming, I wanna get my abs built for summer. Well, although you never had abs before, or maybe you slightly have, but your approach was not sustainable. It's like, let me just blast a lot of cardio, man. I'm gonna lose a lot of fat at the same time, right? And then you crash, it's not sustainable, and you gain all the way back. Okay, that's what I mean by your approach of cardio is completely fucked up. Now, going back to the point one, cardio kill my gains. Cardio will not kill your gains. It will only kill your gains if you do it the wrong way. And you're gonna only doing things wrong if you don't understand the concept at first. Not cardio are created equals, right? It's like calories. You have what's called good calories and bad calories. Okay, same for cardio. I'm not saying there's cardio that are bad, but if you select the wrong cardio for the stage of fitness you in, it's gonna do you more harm than good. That's why before starting doing all of these random things and include cardio in your protocol, we need to understand what are the different types of cardio. Okay, so what's the definition of a cardio actually? When someone say cardio, it's basically mean a cardiovascular activity. It's a form of activity that is going to stimulate your heart. Your heart will start pumping, like beating at a higher pace than what it is at normal. Okay? And based on how fast your heart is beating, and we define it with BPM, beats per minute. We have different ranges, and based on the range you're in, that's going to determine the zone of cardio your heart is currently at. Okay, so you have different range of cardio, of BPM, sorry. So you have like 50 to 60%, 60 70%, 70 to 80%, 80 90, and then 90 and plus, right? So assuming someone your max heart rate is like 190 BPM, well, if you beyond 171 BPM per minute, you're in zone 5 cardio. If you want to be in zone 2 cardio, it's like 60 70% effort, when that's anywhere between 114 to 133 BPM. I don't need to go in details about all of this zone, but the one thing I want to focus on is the zone 2 cardio, right? Because this is what we want to address specifically when it comes to fat loss, and to give you a general science about the human body. Understand that we have two type of fuels inside the body. Your body can burn two things to create energy, because this is how your body is moving. We need energy, right? Energy is what creates the motion, and your body can either burn carbs, glucose specifically, or fat for fuel. And might be wondering what is the relation between my body is burning fats or glucose and the heartbeat. Well, it has everything to do, because when you start like tapping zone 3, zone 4, and zone 5, your body is not burning fats. Your body is actually burning glucose as main source. Why is that? Is because when you engage in a very high intense physical activity and your heart start beating at a higher pace, you're not supplying oxygen efficiently to your body. Because think about it, when you start running fast, what's happening? You feel like you're gassing out. That's what happens when you run. So if that's your way of breathing when you run, which is normal when you are in this high zone of cardio, well, it's kind of obvious that you're not breathing the way you're supposed to breathe. And if you're not breathing the way you're supposed to breathe, well, you're not supplying oxygen as efficient as you will do it in a normal state at rest, or even zone 1, zone 2 cardio. So your body will tap on glucose. This is why, again, cardio will kill your gains if you start running too fast and you have no control in your breathing, because your body is not burning fat, it's burning glucose. And if your nutrition is not managed correctly, well, in this case, the body will start breaking down the muscle and convert the muscle into glucose, right? So guys, there's a lot of science. But the good thing is, because we understand that if we stay within a certain range of cardio, well, our body is going to use fat as main fuel. And if you want to lose the fats, well, all you have to do is to stay within the range of BPM, where your body is using fat as primary source of fuel. And the sweet spot for us is zone 2. There's more studies about it, there's more science about it, but zone 2 is where you want to be for cardio if you want to specifically melt the fats, right? So if you include that strategically in your plan, it's going to help you burn fats. Even if your long-term goal is building the aesthetic physique, you want to have more muscle, you want to get jacked. Like, I'm going to cover that in a bit, but we need to reduce body fat at first, right? For different reasons. But understand that we have different zones of cardio, and what we want to focus on specifically for a training program is the zone 2. Now, why zone 2? Well, first of all, let's just put things in context, where you at now and where you want to be. You're probably sitting around maybe 15-20% body fat at the moment, and you want to be jacked. You want to have the aesthetic physique. You want to have the abs popping, the veins popping, right? Understand, like those muscle definition are only going to be visible when you are low body fat. So people skip phases when it comes to fitness. They always jump on no, I need to put size. I need to put size. Like when they start losing a bit of weight, they're like, oh, you know what? It's time for a bulk. It's not fucking time for a bulk. This is why you guys keep spinning your wheels, because you're not giving each phase the time it requires. Okay, you need to shred as much body fat as possible. Like, here's how I see it: if you don't see your abs, there is no point for you to start like bulking or adding size. Like, you're already bulky, bro. Like, let's be honest. We need to be dropping body fats, like around 10%. That's and you're gonna start seeing your abs, and then you remove again the excess body fats, because when you are low body fats, that's where it's actually easy for your body to start building muscle. Okay, that's why I highlighted in white here: less fat, more muscle. What I mean by that is, the less fat you have, the easier for your body. It will be easier for your body to put on muscle, because the nutrient partition is going to be way easier. You're gonna have, like, less fat cells, and all of the nutrients when you work out are going to fuel the muscle cells. This is exactly what you want. Your insulin sensitivity will be much better, so those nutrients delivery to the cell is gonna be way more effective. Like, always see, you've tried to put on size when you still had like mid-range body fat. You're always gaining fat at the same time. So if we want to avoid that, we need to be cutting at first. We need to remove body fat, and that's related to the cardio. Cardio is what's gonna help us burn the fat. It's not just about calorie deficit. In fact, I don't recommend you go too extreme with the calorie deficit, because if you want to be more efficient with your training, lift heavy, understand that you need nutrients. Those nutrients are going to come from food. So you want to kind of maintain the food intake, not super high. You still want to be in deficit, but kind of close to maintenance. And cardio is the tool that's going to help you still eat more food while losing the fat, right? It's like a leverage. So the benefit of zone 2 cardio is it helps your body burn more fat. Why is that? I already mentioned to you that when you're in zone 2 cardio, the body relies on fat as primary source of fuel. And if we go back to science 101, okay, if you want to make fire, or if you want to burn something, you always need oxygen, right? So this is why oxygen is required to burn the fat. Fat is the fuel in your body, and if you want to burn it, you need oxygen supply. And zone 2, it's a sweet spot. So you're going to improve oxygen supply to your body, which is going to help you burn the fat. And what's great about zone 2 cardio is it helps you build what's called mitochondria. So within the cells of your body, you have like little energy plants. Think about electricity at home. It's always coming from an electrical plants. You have an electrical supply from the source, from the energy plants to your house. That's how you have the lights at home. Same things for your body. Like, that energy has to be produced somewhere, and it's being produced in the mitochondria. So the more you do zone 2 cardio, the more your mitochondria is actually efficient at creating energy. And the more you do it, the more mitochondria your body starts to build. So you start like adding more energy plants. What's going to happen when you have more energy plants in your body, well, your body can generate more energy. That means you're going to recover better and faster in between the sets. This is why, like, getting jacked, guys, like, it's not just about stacking as much workout as possible, right? We have to understand that the gains are coming from recovery, and I break it down in so many videos on my YouTube channel. You can go and watch them. But the growth is happening when you recover, not when you work out. So if you can make your body more efficient at recovering in between set and in between workout, you're gonna melt more fat and you're gonna put on more muscle. Recovery is important, and the way you make your recovery process more efficient in your body is by tackling the zone 2 cardio. Okay, that's gonna help you recover faster, have more energy. You have more energy reserve. right? So if you have more energy result naturally, it's easy to have less rest time and recover faster in between sets and in between workout. It's also going to improve oxygen delivery. Why oxygen delivery matters? Well, oxygen is what's going to supply the nutrients to the cell and to the organs. Okay, you need oxygen for that. You have your heart pumping, you have blood flow, and you have oxygen supply. Then the oxygen is what's going to distribute the nutrients into the cells, the glycogen to the muscles, right? Glycogen is stored glucose. That's what your body uses for workouts. Okay, it has fuel. And the more you improve your mitochondria in the body from the zone 2, you improve also oxygen supply. That's going to facilitate distribution of nutrients, glycogen, and energy in between the body, which means that your workouts are going to be you're going to perform better during your workout, which is exactly what you want at the end of the day. If your goal is to build muscle, you need higher performance, right? So you see how great of a tool zone 2 cardio is. More energy, better recovery, better oxygen supply, and you're burning more fat. And if you have less fat in your body, it's going to make the process of building muscle way easier and way more efficient. Now, how much zone 2 cardio to do? Like how to use cardio properly? Like the goal is not just to stack as much hours of cardio as humanly possible. We still don't want to do it strategically, right? So when I build a program for my clients, like again, there's different phases we have to go through. Five main phases. We have the foundation phase, okay. Then we have like the cutting phase. Then you have a growth phase. Then you have a slight cut if you need. Then there's a maintenance phase where we learn to maintain the body for life, okay. But when we start at the foundation, we want to eat as close as possible to maintenance. We want to be dialing the habits because we're going to improve the hormone response in the body. We're going to max out energy. We want the nutrients to be close to maintenance because we want to feel great. We want to feel great before starting a cut. Like mistake I see is people like kind of feeling low in terms of energy and they always jump straight in the cut. This is not sustainable, guys. Like you make it hard on yourself. So you want to be eating close to maintenance. You want to be dialed in your habits, right? Your sleep, your hydration, so you can max out energy. Your metabolism is going to be more efficient. Hormonal response is going to be optimal. And during this phase, you want to start with 1 hour of cardio. Okay, doesn't matter how you want to spread it during your week. Like if you train like 5 times per week, you can start with just having 1 day of cardio, or you can do the cardio after workouts. Like personally, like I've tried both. It leads to the same outcome, but I just like having a separate day for cardio because it just helps me for schedule management. It's like every single day I dedicate the block time for workout, whether it's weightlifting or cardio, and I just stick to the same routine every day. So the flow of the day is similar, when I train. So it doesn't matter. Just do what works best for you. You want to do it after you work out on a separate day, that's okay. But start with 1 hour zone 2 cardio. Now, what to use for zone 2 cardio? If you go to a gym, stairs, inclined treadmill, biking, rowing, those are tools that makes zone 2 easier. I'm not saying it's the only tool, but for someone who's not used to cardio, I suggest you start with that. So you can actually learn about your pace, you can control your breath. And all of these machines now in the gym, like they have a screen where you can actually see your BPM, your beats per minute. And you stay anywhere between, I would say around 130 BPM is a guarantee that you're going to be in zone 2 cardio. Or you get like an Apple Watch, you can get the Hoop. There's different ways for you to determine the zone of cardio you are in based on the activity you are performing. But those machines in the gym, they're very effective. And I don't recommend you jump straight to running, especially if you're not used to cardio. Maybe build your cardio first with the machine in the gym. And if you never did running before, well, you start there. Then we can transition into jogging, right? Because again, running is not always on to cardio. We need to master breathing technique. We need to still breathe with the nose. Okay, and the way, let's say you don't have any of these equipments, well, the way you know you're in zone 2 cardio is it's still a pace when you can hold a conversation with someone, but it's hard for you to sing. That's how you're going to determine you're in zone 2 cardio without having any device. If you feel like it's too easy, you increase. If you feel like you start gassing out, you're probably beyond zone 2 and need to start reducing the pace, right? That's gonna take practice, but the whole point is you start at 1 hour per week, okay? And you keep your calories the same. And let's say, like, for 2 weeks, you don't see the weight going down. Well, you start adding 20 minutes of zone 2 cardio per week, okay? And you wanna keep doing this process. So you increase the duration of zone 2 on a weekly basis. You're gonna start losing some weight. Then in for 2 weeks, you're not losing weight. The condition is you have to still be dialed in with your habits, your training, and your diet, right? Before changing any parameters, you need to be consistent with all of them. But assuming you stay consistent with all of these inputs, your calorie intake, your sleep, your hydration, you train as hard as humanly possible, you track your lift, you hit your steps, 10,000 steps a day, and your weight is not changing for 2 weeks, or you don't feel like you're melting fat, add another 20 minutes of cardio. And you want to keep doing the same process till you cap your week at 3 hours. I said 3 hours, but that can depend on any individuals, right? Based on your lifestyle, your work. Some people can do more, some people can do less, but just cap your cardio, cap the hours of cardio to the point where, okay, you know what? There's just no more room for me in my schedule to do more cardio, and that is okay. But I feel like from experience, for most people, they can do around 3 hours of cardio weekly, right? I have, like, guys who can do it. Everyone actually can do it. I can do it. So in my opinion, it's still very, very realistic. But again, if you are like super busy and you work like tons of hours per day, we can still arrange something. We still have the weekends to leverage, and that's just like a number for you to work with, right? Cap it at 3 hours. If for you maybe it's 2 hours, that's okay. If you can go to 4, that's even better. But for most people, like those people, it's 3 hours. So you keep adding the cardio only when you are consistent with your parameters and the weight and the fat is not melting. That's the only time where you need to add cardio. Don't add cardio for the sake of adding cardio. Add it as a tool when the fat is not melting enough. You keep adding 20 minutes increments till you cap to 3 hours. And now at this point, when you're capping your cardio and you realize, okay, you know what, my cardio is capped, and I realize like I still have like some pounds of body fat I need to get rid of, well, we understand that we need to create more deficit. So now we have two options. We can either increase the daily steps, or the most logical solution the logical solution in most situations is to start like reducing the calories, and that's another part of the program where we start like reducing the calories. We are cutting calories, and we start like maybe just few calories per week, like 100 calories. Most of them has to come like from carbs, and we keep pulling till we complete the fat loss phase, right? Very important, guys. Like you want to give that phase the duration it is required, because if you mess up, if you start like if you going on growth phase too quickly, you're gonna be gaining some fat. That's the last thing you want to avoid on that endless cycle of like cutting and bulking. Like I've been there. It's not fun. It's disgusting actually. So cut the fat by staying in the cutting phase as long as you need to be. And again, for some guys it can be 3 months, some guys it can be like 4 months. Like I'm the coach in the program. Like I tell them what phase they're in and if we need to adjust something in the plan. But let's say like you're capping out your cardio, even if it's not the point of this video, and if you want to keep losing more fat, that's when you start putting on your calories. Now when you complete the cutting phase, we can start like reducing the cardio and increase the calories, so you can start adding more size. But again, this is another debate. Okay, understand, for the sake of cutting the phase of the cutting phase, that's how you ramp up your cardio. When you feel like you're gonna do more, start playing with the calories. When you complete the cutting phase, you start reducing the cardio and you increase the calories, and now you're gonna start adding size. Okay, that's the game, guys. Like it's very, very easy, and again, it's something we can dive deeper into my program. Like as you can see, like I've coached many guys. That's just like a few of the testimonials like I have. have a community of savages, like everyone is killing it. As long as you follow the plan, like you're gonna get some decent result, right? And if you have like more interest in joining the program, you can apply with the link in the bio. Reach out to me on Instagram, follow my page, my journey. But yeah, that's it. The whole point of me making this video is, make you aware that cardio is it's not just a tool, it's actually important to have, to maxing out performance, recovery. Just ultimately, like that's what we have the physique, but also we have the performance that comes with it. We have the energy, the frequency, right? When you combine all of these things together and you do them the right way, that's how you get in elite shape, right? So if you have more interest, reach out to me through WhatsApp or Instagram. And meantime, I see you soon on another video. Ciao.